Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now. This morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is Friday, August 16th. We're having a good Friday, aren't we?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you
I
don't
know.
sound very
Good
confident
Friday,
about
I mean, the phrase Good Friday, and yeah.
It's better than yesterday, I will say that.
It's not a Monday.
And it's not a Monday.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, we're having a good time.
Yeah.
What about our weather?
Not such a good time out there, my
man.
friends. We have a little patchy fog, the dense fog out there currently, and we're holding on to that fog all the way until about the 7 o'clock hour before it begins to break down. And eventually, what would I have for you here? Also, a 60% chance of showers coming back in the afternoon. So we have the possibility of a shower to come in the late morning, and then more showers and storm activity for your afternoon. How about today? Yeah, it's going to be about a 40% chance, as I mentioned before. But look at the fog and low cloud activity, as I've mentioned here. That's going to get with us. It's going to stay, and it's going to linger, it's going to hover, and it's going to be thick for a while. We're going to go right into about the 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock hour when it begins to break down for us and then we clear out our skies. And some other areas still have a little bit of light fog to contend with, and it will be patchy. All right, so the wind gusts are going to be pretty eventful as well. We'll see them get up to like 16 miles per hour here in some locations again, so please be careful about that. As far as the rain is concerned, that will continue to swirl around portions of Eau Claire and La Crosse and Ladysmith. And that's going to be over us all the way throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours, and that means we're going to be seeing some rainfall throughout the day and into the evening. So bear that in mind as you look at the current visibility. Once again, as I showed you, there is dense fog out there, and it's quite dangerous to be driving like that with very low visibility. I'll have more about this for you in a bit, so stick around, please.
All right, Art, we will see you in a little bit. Today is the big day for our annual Stuff the Bus campaign. We're excited to make a difference in our community as families gear up for back-to-school shopping. We're partnering with Cooley Bank to help those in need. News 8's Michael Germain is live at Walmart in Onalaska, ready to kick off this important event. Michael, what can you tell us about today's school supply drive and how our viewers can get involved?
Sandra, that's right. I'm here live at the Onalaska Walmart, and it's actually taking place at another Walmart location, both the Onalaska and the La Crosse location, from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. today. People can drop off and donate all of these supplies because it is at the end of summer, so back to school season is fully in swing. And I'm joined here with Jenny from the YMCA. Jenny, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you kind of give us an overview as to what Stuff the Bus exactly is?
Sure. Stuff the Bus is a really collaborative effort. In our community, many agencies come together: the YMCA, Catholic Charities, Boys and Girls Club, WKBT, Salvation Army. We all come together to help set kids up for school and success in school. So we're hoping to collect all kinds of school supplies that we can hand out on Tuesday at the Boys and Girls Club at the Matthew Center, and then next Saturday, the 24th, from 10 to 1 at the YMCA.
Perfect. Why would you say something like this is so important to the greater La Crosse community as a whole?
Right. You know, not every family has the means to buy a lot of extra. And right now it's really important. Our community is so generous and they give back, and we want to set kids up for success for the school year. So let's help them out a little bit, get them some school supplies, some hygiene items. Nothing says back to school like a good shower and a full backpack of school supplies to start them off right.
Perfect. Well, Jenny, thank you so much for your time. Like I said, Alexandra, both this Walmart location in Onalaska and La Crosse starting at 8 a.m. and ending at 6 p.m. today. Until then.
All right, Michael, we'll check back in with you in just a little bit. Thank you. Turning now to some other headlines. Hurricane Ernesto now intensified into a Category 2 storm as it heads toward Bermuda. According to the National Hurricane Center, as of late last night, the storm had maximum winds of 100 miles per hour. The current track shows Ernesto will continue to move northeast today, prompting the island of Bermuda to issue a hurricane warning. And this comes as Japan is bracing for Typhoon Ampul, which sits just off the coast of that island nation. Prior to its arrival, the country has experienced torrential rains causing power blackouts in some parts of Tokyo. Ahead of the storm, authorities have already canceled all bullet train services between Tokyo and the industrial city of Nagoya. Hundreds of flights also being grounded, and nearly 10,000 households have already evacuated. An Eau Claire man accused of shooting a crossbow at his neighbors has pleaded not guilty. 35-year-old Robert Willie is charged with first-degree recklessly endangering safety and disorderly conduct. According to the criminal complaint, he fired a bolt at two people from his second-story window on Maple Street. The victim said Willie had previously texted them about threatening to shoot them. Willie is representing himself as he awaits a public defender. To the campaign trail now, Vice President Harris heads to Raleigh today for a major economic speech following yesterday's unity event with President Biden. In Maryland, former President Trump defended his running mate at a New Jersey press conference. CBS's Jared Hill has it all from New York.
One day after her first joint event with President Biden since becoming the Democratic presidential nominee, Vice President Kamala Harris is set to lay out her first major policy proposal in battleground North Carolina. The economic plan, including the first ever federal ban on price gouging, tax incentives for renters, and new housing construction, as well as down payment support of up to $25,000 for first-time homebuyers.
My entire career, I have worked to hold bad actors accountable.
At yesterday's official White House event in Maryland, President Biden praised his VP.
She's going to make one hell of a president.
And threw in some personal digs at his predecessor.
The guy we're running against, what's his name? Donald Dump or Donald whatever.
At a news conference at his golf club in New Jersey, Trump focused on food prices and lobbed insults of his own at Harris.
I think I'm entitled to personal attacks. I think she'll be a terrible president.
Meanwhile, we're getting our first look at the stage of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago next week.
And News 8 will have a crew there. This weekend, both candidates set to hit the campaign trail in Pennsylvania. The Secret Service is planning to start putting former President Trump behind bulletproof glass at his campaign rallies following last month's assassination attempt. That's something commonly done for current presidents, but for them, the Defense Department can easily move the glass from event to event using airplanes. The Secret Service doesn't have planes, so they're planning to store the glass in various areas around the country where Trump is expected to visit. The agency is also planning to increase the number of agents and implement unknown technological changes. The price of some of the prescription drugs you rely on is about to get cheaper, and yesterday Senator Tammy Baldwin met with her constituents to celebrate that. Baldwin supported the Inflation Reduction Act, which empowered Medicare to negotiate lower prescription drug prices for the first time ever. The Biden administration announced the price cuts for the first 10 drugs under those negotiations.
That's why I voted for the Inflation Reduction Act, to provide some real relief for Wisconsin families and hold big drug companies accountable for prioritizing profits over people.
Over 150,000 Wisconsinites are currently taking one or more of the 10 drugs, part of those negotiations. U.S. gymnast Jordan Chiles says being stripped of her bronze medal is a significant blow. U.S. Olympic officials say they did not receive emails related to her appeal until it was too late. The Court of Arbitration for Sport ruled that Chiles must relinquish her bronze to Romania's Ana Barbosu, now deemed the rightful winner. U.S. officials say an email address error delayed proper appeal documents, arriving 2 days past the deadline and just hours before the hearing. U.S. Olympic and gymnastics officials vow to continue appealing the decision. Smashing stigma one dunk at a time. Tomorrow you can make a splash in the fight against mental health and addiction misconceptions. Tomorrow the Cooley Recovery Center is hosting its Smash the Stigma Treatment Resource Fair from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. in La Crosse. There you can connect with representatives from various mental health and substance use disorder treatment services, listen to live music and hear stories from people in long-term recovery. You can even take part in a Narcan training session, very important. There's also a dunk tank, and the Batter and Brew food truck will be on hand if you get hungry. And get ready for some more events to tell you about. The Big River Rally rides into La Crosse today. Join any of the many ride-along rallies or check out the stunt shows and bike show tomorrow. There'll also be a veterans breakfast in the morning. Jam out today and tomorrow to the ultimate hip-hop and rock music festival, Reverb. Rock on with headliners like T.I. and Yellowcard. Tickets and camping passes are available online. And enjoy an array of events at Cornfest in Holmen this weekend. Check out the food trucks, car show, parade, carnival, and of course, don't forget the corn. Admission to that is free. The time now is 6:09. Still ahead on your morning news, unemployment claims fell for the second week in a row. Retail sales suddenly booming, and X's new AI photo generator is causing some concerns about campaign misinformation.
Some Americans feel they need to rely on side hustles to make ends meet. I'm Cristian Benavides with the new app, connecting gig workers with clients.
For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Scientists may have solved a Stonehenge mystery. New research suggests the altar stone at Stonehenge's center likely came from Scotland, not Wales, as long believed. Analyzing mineral grains, researchers found the 6-ton boulder best matches rocks from northeast Scotland, a 435-mile journey. This could be the longest recorded transport of any stone for a monument of that era. And as you start to wake up this morning, we are leaving you with a quick wake-up call with the Smithsonian of the South, Raleigh, North Carolina. This, of course, where Vice President Harris is set to make those major economic announcements in just a few hours. Stay with us. Your consumer news is after the break.
At Bygoff and Rohde, we know reputation is important, and it can affect your case's outcome. If you want your case to be taken seriously, you need lawyers who are taken seriously. Bygoff and Rohde, serious injuries need serious lawyers.
Our son Trent overcame kidney disease and beat cancer. But when he injured his leg, he took what he thought was a pain pill.
It was laced with fentanyl, and it killed him. He was 23.
We reached out to Tammy Baldwin, but all we got back was a form letter.
Obviously, she doesn't care about families like ours. Our kids are dying from fentanyl pouring across our border.
And we can't trust Tammy Baldwin to stop it.
Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Has your pet been diagnosed with a cruciate ligament injury or torn ACL? Forget the inconvenience of travel and expense to a university. Dr. Mark Hine at Wisconsin Veterinary Orthopedics in Holmen specializes in knee reconstruction using the TPLO. This is a gold standard that's been used by veterinarians for over 40 years and provides the strongest fixation in ACL repair. Fetch made possible, one knee at a time. Contact Dr. Mark Hine at Wisconsin Veterinary Orthopedics today.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or get $3,500 purchase cash on select GMC Sierra models. Or get a total of $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Visit your best choice GMC dealer today.
To everyone out there who loves Culver's,
the feeling is mutual. Everything's made fresh.
Everything. Everything.
It's our pleasure.
This is me and my happy place.
I wouldn't trade our Culver's for any other restaurant.
Culver's.
Yay! We love our guests.
Love.
As much as our guests love us.
This is me and my happy place.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
After I decided my pain was too much, and my doctor actually suggested that I do visit the Good Feet store. Pretty amazing when they put the arch supports in your shoe and you walk around and you realize there's not pain and you think, how can this arch support in my shoe make my back pain go away? But it works. And how can it make my knee pain go away? It was incredible.
Hip, knee, or back pain? See if Arch Supports can help you at the Good Feet store.
Is your personal injury lawyer trying to sell you a settlement that you don't think is fair? You need a lawyer who won't settle your case just to move on to the next one. Get the full compensation you deserve. Get Bygoff and Rohde.
Well, good morning to you and welcome back. Without being preachy to you, I just want to let you know, please be careful. You can see what we have out here. That is dense fog indeed, and that's going to linger for us for the better part of the day. If you're doing some water you're working on like the river or something like that, please be careful out there as well. If you're driving out there, watch out for pedestrians as well as folks that are riding their bikes out there. You're looking at some dense fog. You can see it. La Crosse is still at 1 mile of visibility, but you're pretty much, you've seen it with your own eyes, right? You've got dense fog out there. You've got Sparta out there as well. You're also looking at Black River Falls still holding on to that fog and low cloud activity, and it's going to stay with us for the better part of the day. Boscobel holding on to at least 1 mile of visibility. That'll get out of the way once we get into at least the 8 o'clock hour, opening up the skies for you somewhat, and then it backs off for everybody once we get into the at least the 10 o'clock hour. All right, the rainfall, most of it all the way out to our east, but right now we are seeing a little bit of blips coming up in some cases. We'll get out of that and go into this. We're looking at temperatures widespread in the 60s for you with a 57 for Sparta. In fact, you're looking at more rainfall coming into the picture as we go right into the late morning hours. You can see the winds are going to be fairly strong, kind of breezy, kind of moving through the area as well. We'll also pick up the possibility of some of this rainfall coming back for the 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock hour time slot, maybe getting out of the way by 5 o'clock. And then once we go deeper into the evening, it starts to kind of falls apart just before it gets to La Crosse, and we're seeing maybe drier skies for us with just mostly cloudy conditions. You can see right there from 11 o'clock all the way into at least 3 o'clock, you're looking at some rainfall for La Crosse. And for Eau Claire, well, a little bit less than the storm activity. You're going to be picking up these showers and holding on to some showers continuing all the way into at least 7 p.m. tonight. I'll have more about this for you coming up in a while, so stick around. I'll be right back.
In your consumer news this morning, initial jobless claims fell last week for the second week in a row, according to the Labor Department. There were an estimated 227,000 new claims for unemployment insurance. That's 7,000 fewer than the previous week. Despite trending higher in recent months, they remain below historical averages. In the decade before the COVID pandemic, weekly jobless claims averaged 311,000. And retail sales suddenly booming across the country. The Department of Commerce said sales at U.S. retailers surged unexpectedly last month. They rose by a solid 1% from the month before. That exceeded economists' expectations of a 0.3% gain. July's reading is a boon for the U.S. economy because the country's economic growth hinges on Americans spending their money. Elon Musk's AI chatbot Grok began allowing users to create AI-generated images from text prompts and then post them onto X. Almost immediately, people began using the tool to flood the social media site with fake images of political figures like former President Trump, Vice President Harris, and Musk. Unlike other mainstream AI photo tools, Grok appears to have few guardrails. The tool is likely to add concerns that AI could create an explosion of false or misleading information across the internet, especially ahead of the election. Years of inflation has millions of Americans struggling to make ends meet. Many now turn to side hustles. Christian Benavidez looks at some apps focused on connecting those in need of extra cash with work they can do to earn it.
Rafael Espinoza owns his own contracting business and is always looking for new jobs. He found this gig with a new app called JobSnap.
We did some gutter cleaning, and we also installed some leaf guards for the gutters.
JobSnap joins TaskRabbit, Angie, Handy, and other apps that connect workers with homeowners in need of services.
It's helpful for the homeowner and the contractor, looking to do work.
Many apps charge a percentage of a job's cost, but JobSnap CEO James Albis says his company takes a monthly fee from the gig worker.
There's no fee above that, so they can get one job, 10 jobs, and it's still $87 a month.
Apps like this have become more popular as Americans turn to side hustles for extra cash. A recent Bankrate survey found 39% of Americans earn money through side hustles, and 28% of side hustlers feel they'll always need that work to make ends meet.
We're all looking for extra ways to make money, so the need is very much there.
What do you need done here? Miami homeowner Grace Hannon needs this awning fixed and this room decluttered. She snapped a picture and posted it with the price she's willing to pay.
It gives me one-stop shopping, I guess. That's a new, way to put it, and everything is right there.
Now she's waiting to see if anyone using the app will snap up the work.
The JobSnap CEO says currently they have a few hundred users, mainly in the New York metro area, but have been actively expanding to other markets. That's it for your morning consumer news. Time now is 6:18. Let's check back in with Art for a look at our forecast.
I said I'd be right back, and here I am. We'll hold on to at least the patchy fog and low cloud activity. It's dense out there right now, and the roadways are wet. We haven't had a batch of rainfall in quite some time, so once we get into late morning hours, we will pick up more rainfall on the way. The fog will start to get out of the way by that time, of course. We'll also see we have a 40% chance of showers and storms to finish out today in the afternoon, so bear that in mind. Let's get into the look here. You're going to see more of that fog and low cloud activity. You can see dense fog by Sparta. You're seeing near to pretty much dense fog for La Crosse and also for Viroqua, all the way down into Boscobel, picking up that in Black River Falls, and up to the north in Eau Claire, not so much. You have patchy fog there for you as well. You're going to diminish the fog and low cloud activity once we finish out the morning hours, and we'll get you into at least some partly to mostly cloudy skies to finish out the day. An upper level pattern is pretty much over us, and it's over Eau Claire, and it will stay with us going into the daytime. In fact, right now, here's a look at the fog and low cloud activity that's out there. Your current temperatures, if you're heading on out right now, upper 50s to at least the upper 60s there. And it's pretty comfortable indeed, but you may find yourself with a little bit of drizzle coming in eventually. We'll pick up again the fog, as I've mentioned, by 10 o'clock this morning or so. We could see a shower or two coming in, and by the evening we could see another round of that coming back again tonight as well, about 10 p.m. We'll also see right now the radar is pretty dry for us, except for well out to the east. We'll pick up the rainfall coming in at 10 a.m. in the morning. Then we see it kind of coming back in the afternoon around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and then it starts to move out of the way. Once we get around 5 o'clock, it starts to head out a little bit more so. By about 5 o'clock, you see it's up and out and gone. We'll diminish the showers heading our way. You can see possibly by about 8 o'clock, we may find ourselves with maybe a shower or two, maybe a sprinkle out of that. Most of it's going to be by Winona. Then as we finish out the nighttime, we are done. We go into Saturday morning, more showers come back. You'll see that by 8 o'clock in the morning, extending that into the afternoon by 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and that continues to go all the way into 4 o'clock with some more scattered showers, because that area of low pressure is still circling, but it's way over here now. But we're getting the outer batch of that kind of coming into our area, and that's why this is all happening. And by the time we get into 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, midnight hour, we're done. As far as rain is concerned, not much is happening right now. The radar is backed off, or at least for us getting into some totals. We're also seeing that there's some flash flooding well to our northeast, but not in our area. We'll pick up the rainfall from midnight tonight going all the way into at least Saturday midnight. We'll also see that it's very light rainfall, 1/4 of an inch possibly, as that all finishes out. We'll go into how this all plays out for you over the next few days. I've mentioned before, away we go with 82 degrees for today, tomorrow with drier conditions possibly to finish out the evening and overnight. Sunday much nicer with more of that sunshine coming back in our forecast with limited amounts of rain. Back to you.
Good looking forecast. Thank you, Art. The time now is 6:21, still ahead. Although having a new baby is oftentimes very rewarding, as we know, it's also pretty exhausting. Coming up in your morning medical news, we'll take a look at why a new study is saying parental leave may not just make life easier, it may actually benefit your health.
Coming up in the Blitz, the Loggers going for their second ever Northwoods League championship, plus a Westby grad returns to the gridiron for one last time. Hear from him next.
Sanctuary cities protect illegal immigrant criminals from being deported, like an illegal immigrant arrested for battery in Madison. Instead of being deported, he was released and went on to assault several more women, including a 13-year-old girl. Senator Tammy Baldwin voted 9 times to support federal funding for sanctuary cities that release dangerous illegals back onto our streets. And Baldwin voted for amnesty for 11 million illegals, including criminals. Tell Senator Baldwin, stop protecting illegal immigrants and start protecting Wisconsin.
It's the final weekend to save, now during the Smith Brothers Factory Authorized Sale at Drury's in Fountain. Exciting designs, stunning fabrics, and the best prices of the year, right now at Drury's. You'll save on everything Smith Brothers makes, the latest sofa styles, sectionals to fit any room, and the finest in genuine leather, all featuring a lifetime warranty on solid maple frames, sturdy steel springs, and luxurious cushions. Plus, there's even 24-month financing available. Sale ends Monday at 8 at Drury's in Fountain.
Arby's is full of choices. Quick, you can get your favorite stuff. 3 for $5.
Pretty good.
Incredible value for limited time. Reach in and eat whatever you grab. Arby's, we have the meats.
The La Crosse Area Builders Association's Parade of Homes, August 22nd through the 25th, with 12 different projects, including new homes. Search LABA Parade of Homes for more information and tickets and discover your home's potential.
My son, Nick, took illicit fentanyl, which cost him his life. And knowing that my son is never coming back is the worst thing that I will have to live with for the rest of my life.
Tammy Baldwin's been with us every step of the way. She just got a major bill passed to really crack down on fentanyl. She doesn't just talk the talk, but she actually walks the walk.
I cannot tell you how much we appreciate Tammy Baldwin fighting this fight.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
Welcome to the Blitz. Well, the Dodgers have had the Brewers' number over the last handful of years. Milwaukee going 26-43 against LA since 2015, but yesterday the Crew had a chance to earn a series split at home. Bottom of the third, rinse and repeat. Jackson Chourio producing an offensive highlight. You've seen it a lot lately, and you hopefully are going to see it for years to come. That home run makes it 2-0 and makes Chourio the third ever rookie to have 15 home runs and 15 steals in a season. Los Angeles would tie things up in the third, then take the lead in the sixth as the first pitch from Angel Peguero is sent to right field off the bat of Enrique Hernandez. But in the eighth, the Brewers get the bases loaded for Willy Adames. He picks a good time for his first hit of the day. That base knock evens things up at 4. And coming up later in the inning, Rhys Hoskins is going to rip one off of Daniel Hudson's foot. Miguel Rojas can't make a play at home, and William Contreras scores. And then it's the Airbender doing his thing in the ninth. The Brewers come from behind and take this one by 2 runs. Loggers making the 9-hour, 20-minute drive from St. Cloud to Kalamazoo for the Northwoods League Championship. Growlers up 1 in the second when Elijah Ekis rips one to left field with the bases loaded to give La Crosse the lead. Visitors would add a couple in the fourth on sacrifice flies. Then in the top of the fifth, Ryan Kucherak drills one out to center field. That ball is going to ricochet off the wall and score Luke Anderson to make it 5-1. Then the next hitter, Gable Mitchell, serves one over the glove of the shortstop, and Kucherak touches home. Loggers go up by 5. In the next inning, Matthew Mura looking to get a little more offense going, but it's a sensational diving snag out and right by Corbin Griffin to steal the hit. In the bottom half of the inning, it's Griffin making an impact at the plate this time. The ball gets by Case Sanderson at first to score a run for Kalamazoo. This one got delayed for almost 2 hours, and the Growlers used that pause to take the momentum, and they go on to win their second Northwoods League title in 3 years. Yesterday, we heard from Jack Studer, one of the offensive centerpieces for the La Crosse Eagle football team, and we also shift our focus to the defensive side of the ball here. There's a plethora of all-conference talent on that defense, including Ryan Daines, who's entering his 6th season with the program. After an injury sidelined the Westby grad early last year, Daines decided to come back for one more season to see what he can do with the new group.
I think we have super high expectations for our defense this year, probably higher than we've ever had, just with the amount of experience and depth we have across the line, being able to rotate guys more and keeping us all fresh. I think that the sky's really the limit for our defense this year.
The Eagles will boast a strong linebacking core this season with the return of their leading tacklers from the last 2 seasons in Daines and Tanner Newland. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Right now, it's the Labor Day sale at Home Furniture. Get up to an extra 10% off sale prices, like this counter table and 4 chairs for just $999. Or pay no interest for 3 years during the Labor Day sale, going on now at Home Furniture.
What would you think of a man who builds homes to rescue children from abandonment, sex trafficking, and slavery?
An employer who does charitable work alongside us and pays for us to go around the world helping kids in need.
He helps single moms in Wisconsin.
Funds food banks here.
And fights sex trafficking across America.
That man is my husband, Eric, and he'll fight for you, just like he fights for them.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
Hey, Nick. Like usual? Yeah, please.
How's your day going?
Oh, pretty good. Air conditioning went out at the house, and I got some guys coming over to fix it.
Nothing that G&T can't take your mind off of, right?
Oh, absolutely, man. I can always depend on G&T to put my mind at ease.
Especially when I make them, eh?
Well, I'm talking about G&T Heating and Air Conditioning. They have never let me down.
G&T, the best heating and air conditioning guaranteed.
Maybe I should switch to G&T.
It's the back-to-school sale at Hy-Vee this Friday through Sunday. Uncrustables, just $2.48. Lunchables or P3, just 99 cents. Basket and bushel mandarins, just $2.99 for a 3-pound bag. Hy-Vee split top bread, just $1.28. Kraft singles, just $1.99. Hy-Vee cereal, just 99 cents. Save big during the back-to-school sale, in-store and online this Friday through Sunday at Hy-Vee.
Maury's and Gunderson Health System have partnered up together here to really provide a great service to check car seats for new families, to bring their vehicle in here, because it can be very intimidating when you're trying to put it all together. We just want to provide a space to do that. Every first and third Thursday of the month through September, here at Audi Volkswagen on Theater Road, at Maury's, it's all about moving life forward. That's why we've joined with Center Stage in supporting non-for-profit businesses to give them power and impact in the community.
It's Home Seasonal Concepts Labor Day Patio Closeout. Get up to 50% off regular prices on porch and patio sets, fire tables, and more. Like this 5-piece patio dining set for just $14.97. The Labor Day Patio Closeout at Home Seasonal Concepts.
Download the News 8000 app today. Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back. As you're out and about today, maybe doing some shopping, some back to school shopping, you can make a difference in the lives of some local kids too. News 8 Now's Michael Germain is live for us this morning at the Walmart in Onalaska to tell us more about our Stuff the Bus campaign and how we can help. Hi, Michael.
Hey, Alexandra, that's right. Stuff the Bus kicks off at 8 a.m. today, running all the way until 6 p.m., both here at the Walmart Onalaska location and the one in La Crosse. Now, I'm here joined by Jenny from the YMCA. Can you kind of talk to me a little bit about that distribution process at the Y?
Yeah, we're excited to get a lot of supplies together. Our back to school events in the community will serve over 1,000 kids and help them with school supplies. The first event is at the Matthey Boys and Girls Club on Tuesday from 5 to 7. And then our YMCA event is a free walk-in event from 10 to 1 on Saturday, August 24th.
How does it feel to be putting this on just for the community, just spreading just an absolute great cause throughout La Crosse and further?
Yeah, you know, it's really great. We really pride ourselves in helping support community needs, and back to school supplies are definitely a need, especially for those families who might need a little extra support. It really warms our heart to be able to give back to kids and help them have a good, fresh start for the school year.
Perfect. Is there anything else that you want to add about Stuff the Bus that our viewers at home should know, or any additional information?
Yeah, we really depend on events like this with Stuff the Bus and partnerships to get supplies in the hands of kids. And so we would really appreciate any time you can take to stop out at either Walmart today and drop off some supplies, and we'll get them to the kids next week.
Perfect. Sounds like a plan. Jenny, thank you so much. Now, at both Walmart locations, when you walk in, on this side, on the complete opposite side of the self-checkouts, they'll have a huge bin labeled Stuff the Bus. You can drop off anything from binders, pencils, or notepads. Now, reporting live in Onalaska, Michael Germain, News 8 Now.
All right, Michael, thank you. And again, we'll be there till 6 p.m. tonight. Turning now to some morning medical news. The U.S. Food and Drug wants to help Americans consume less sodium by lowering sodium levels in processed foods. The agency has proposed guidelines with voluntary targets that could help Americans cut their average daily sodium intake by about 20%. The agency says a large percentage of the sodium Americans consume is commercially processed, packaged, and prepared foods where the sodium is added during manufacturing. Eating too much can raise blood pressure and increase the risk of heart disease and stroke. Most parents would agree there's nothing more exhausting and rewarding than having a new baby. In the U.S., 70% of average wage workers don't get paid family leave. Susan Elizabeth Littlefield has more from Minneapolis on new data that proves why paid leave is so important, and not just for mothers.
You got it. Good job.
Dalton Hessel notices the little things because he's witnessed them firsthand.
I was able to take 6 weeks for paternity leave.
Dalton is a second-grade teacher in Hayward, Wisconsin. Lately, he's been spending his days
Pelicans use their large web feet.
teaching his daughter. He's not the only one who's grateful.
Go get her, Mia.
And one of the most important things in our relationship and dynamic was the confidence in Dalton watching her solo. I wanted to be able to go get groceries. I wanted to have a girls' day. I wanted to go back to work.
Claire Hessel works in HR, so she personally and professionally understands the benefits of both parents having paid leave.
Having the paternity leave and the family leave together is what just creates that strong unit.
And now there's data to back that up, as the Harvard Business Review explains. Kate Mangino, a gender expert, co-authored the piece.
For a long time, no one bothered to research fathers' brains around childbirth and childbearing.
That's changed. And the research shows what Dalton is doing isn't just good for his heart, it's good for his head.
No matter what your gender is, if you're a human being and you spend a lot of time with an infant, especially in the first 6 months, our brains adapt and change. We become more empathetic, we become more patient, we become more suitable to be parents.
Are you setting up a dynamic too for life where the workload is more shared?
There is data that comes from both male and female perspective that a more equal marriage is oftentimes a happier marriage.
Kate says research shows the more dads care give,
There's no greater feeling than just seeing her smile.
the more they get.
The authors hope their research helps more decision makers push for parental leave policies. Yes, so important. A brand new medical facility at Cooley Region Humane Society is helping staff offer more expansive treatments to its animals. Dogs and cats waiting for new homes won't have to travel far anymore to get vaccinated, neutered, or have surgery. The Humane Society can now do all of that in-house. Before the new facility, everything was done in a small room, and animals sometimes needed to be transported to clinics. Now there's more space and the animals can be monitored closely.
Being able to just walk them from one side of the building to the other is a lot easier on staff. It doesn't take away our volunteer time for transporting those animals, and it doesn't stress the animal out by getting them in the carrier, putting them into a vehicle, traveling 30 minutes away.
The shelter raised $3.5 million for the expansion. Most of that money came from donations. With more dogs and cats now able to be treated internally, Drievold is confident they'll be adopted sooner too. And as you get ready to send your kids back to school, so are the people behind the cafeteria counters. Yesterday, West Salem High's nutrition department hosted lunch crews from 18 local school districts for the Cooley School Nutrition Group's annual training. They cooked up plans for the new school year and got a refresher on the latest school nutrition rules, all to make sure your kids stay well fed when classes start up again. The La Crosse Area Heritage Center's latest exhibit is honoring the works of a prominent La Crosse woodcarver. For nearly a century, the E. Hackner Co. of La Crosse built altars, statues, and furniture for local and national churches. The company started in 1880 by Egid Hackner, a German immigrant with a passion for religious art. His community involvement and craftsmanship bolstered their reputation before closing in the 1960s.
La Crosse was a big industry for this. So of course there's companies that are doing this in Chicago and the Twin Cities area, but they're choosing to contract with Hackner of La Crosse just based on their reputation and the skill that these people are putting into their projects.
The Hackner Touch exhibit is Thursday through Saturday at the La Crosse Heritage Center till October 5th. Time now is 6:37. Let's check in with News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett to tell us what to expect on our morning commute. Can't see a thing over there, Art.
I know you can't. Really, look at that. I mean, something, a little spider web or two, but let's get into it. Yeah, the fog is really heavy right now. It's thick out there. Patchy to dense fog locally. We're looking at La Crosse. It is showing 1 mile of visibility, but that is all the way up and on French Island. So bear that in mind for the downtown area. You're in dense fog currently. You're also looking at Sparta holding on to particularly, you've just picked up from 1 mile of visibility there. So you're looking at dense fog holding on to you, possibly around Black River Falls. A lot of this continues to just wrap around areas right by Viroqua as well. You're in dense fog currently, so that means we're going to hold on to this fog right through the morning hours. In fact, we'll go into at least drier conditions as far as rain is concerned, most of that as well to our east. And we take a look here, you can see all the way out there, that's where they're having severe weather potential today, which is a low risk right now. Currently, at temperatures, we're looking at widespread 60s for you, still holding on to upper 50s as you get into Sparta. And then you take a look here at the rainfall that we are looking for as we go through the morning and in the afternoon. Not much, right? Then it picks up once we get into 3 o'clock. You're looking at La Crosse about 1/4 of an inch. Same for Eau Claire. We'll pick it up for going into the evening hours and overnight. We're looking at about 50, or at least a 1/2 inch of rainfall, possibly. Eau Claire, about 1/4 of an inch of rainfall. We'll finish out from from Friday night tonight going all the way into Saturday. We could see up to about 1/10 of an inch of rainfall, maybe a little bit more. We'll also see as we go into Eau Claire, you're looking at mostly showers for the day, and then La Crosse will hold on to showers and storms to finish out the morning as well as in the afternoon. I'll have more coming up for you in just a bit. Stick around. All right. We go into it here. We've got our buzz report. We have people who have been charged in connection to the death of actor Matthew Perry. Well, more on the details surrounding the identities of those charged and their personal relationships to Perry when we return. Stick around.
Refresh your space with a mid-century makeover at Ashley. During the Labor Day sale, discover statement pieces starting at $499.99. Plus, get 0% interest for 5 years on in-store purchases. No minimum purchase required. Shop more deals in-store and online.
Sanctuary cities protect illegal immigrant criminals from being deported, like an illegal immigrant arrested for battery in Madison. Instead of being deported, he was released and went on to assault several more women, including a 13-year-old girl. Senator Tammy Baldwin voted 9 times to support federal funding for sanctuary cities that release dangerous illegals back onto our streets. And Baldwin voted for amnesty for 11 million illegals, including criminals. Tell Senator Baldwin, stop protecting illegal immigrants and start protecting Wisconsin.
Hey, Dominic here with great recipes using our Italian Pleasini. For Italian mushrooms, use a pint of mushrooms, 1 stick of butter, and 1 tablespoon of Italian Pleasini. Put in a slow cooker and cook on high for 4 hours. For Italian green beans, fry 4 chopped slices of bacon with 1/2 chopped onion. Cook 1 bag of green beans, combine everything, add in 1 teaspoon of Italian Pleasini. Get Italian Pleasini and over 40 other blends at the Pleasini Outlet Store on Ward Avenue, La Crosse. Mwah!
My wife urged me to get my ears checked, and I've done, like most people, everything possible to probably damage them. It's an easy process. It's an easy thing to do. It's free. Come in and get it checked. Mine is not perfect, but at least I know that I have to be a little more careful. You know, they've been doing this a long time, and they know what they're doing, so to have this available to us locally here, oh, they're fantastic. I would highly recommend them.
Better Hearing Center on Alaska, next to St. Pat's Church.
Story of a kinesiotherapist who rehabbed his golf game.
I love golf. I have always played golf.
Until he started having some Mulligan-level foot pain.
Well, the golf game starts down with the feet, and if you don't have good support, you probably won't have a good golf swing.
So he got fitted for Good Feet arch supports.
It made a world of difference.
Any advice for your fellow Lynxmen?
2 words, the Good Feet store. How many words is that?
Try them for yourself with a free fitting at the Good Feet store.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
There's a side of Eric Hovde you might not know. In his 20s, he was diagnosed with MS, and in that moment, his life and priorities changed. Eric started Hovde Homes. Hovde Homes rescue abandoned children from sex trafficking and slavery. For children who never experienced real love, Hovde Homes offer the love, care, and support they need to heal. MS changed Eric's life, and thousands of children are alive today because of it.
Labor Day mattress deals are happening now at Ashley. For a limited time, save up to $1,000 on select mattress purchases. Plus, get 0% interest for 5 years on in-store purchases. Only at Ashley.
All right, your morning weather taking you into patchy to dense fog out there. We know it. Roadways are kind of wet. They've been drying out ever since the overnight hours, and slowly but surely we'll get some rainfall coming back as we go into a 60% chance for showers around the late morning hours. Storms, not so much maybe, but once we get into the afternoon, we're looking at a 40% chance. We should see some showers and storms working into the forecast here, especially for La Crosse. That being said, we get into it here. Take a peek. The fog is starting to lift up a bit. You can actually see the buildings now, and slowly but surely surely this fog will lift as we go into the 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock hour, and we'll see that get out of the way by 9 o'clock. Here's your fog and low cloud activity. Dense fog by Sparta. We've got visibility down to a mile for La Crosse. Viroqua, dense fog for you there, as well as Black River Falls. Up in Eau Claire, you're in patchy fog, as well as Ladysmith, and then currently getting down to areas by Prairie du Chien, and also Bosco, you're looking at the patchy fog to near dense fog. This fog is heavy. All that red you see, or at least that continues out of the area by the time we get into the 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock hour, opening up the skies for you somewhat with some lingering low cloud activity for some folks. Current temperatures, not much change, as I mentioned, upper 50s to around 69 degrees in some cases. We'll also see storm activity coming in later in the afternoon, as I mentioned before. And then once we get into tomorrow, well, we see some showers mostly coming in for Saturday. We'll get rid of those, and then eventually sunny skies will prevail for Sunday with a good looking day. Temperatures around 84 degrees. That being said, though, we have the rainfall is pushing all that heavy stuff out of the way. That's what we picked up earlier today while the roadways are wet. Not much happening for us here locally. You'll get into at least the 10 o'clock hour. You see some of that rainfall slipping in. Not much in the storm activity, right? So once we go into the afternoon, we've got rain and storm potential coming into the forecast around 1 o'clock for us by La Crosse. Then we pick up again some more storms coming in about 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and they continue to press through the area. And then just before we get into the commute time, really we start to see it break down with more spotty showers. So you may see your windshield getting wet with a sprinkler or two, perhaps, maybe a brief shower, but nothing much to really write home about. We'll get into drier conditions once we get into Saturday, though. We'll see the showers coming back in the morning around 8:05. Then we pick up again the possibility of more showers going right through the afternoon hours, coming and going. They're more spotty and scattered throughout the area, finishing out by the time we get into the 10 o'clock hour, and we are done. All right, that being said, this is what the rainfall looks for us as we go into the next few days today. We're going to be having limited amounts of rainfall. In fact, you can see we're no longer in a threat of that. This is for Saturday, going into the rainfall, maybe a 1/4 inch possible or less for us. We'll see again for La Crosse. You're looking at showers in the afternoon, in the morning, I should say, from 10 o'clock to about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and then we have a storm activity associated with that as well. Eau Claire, mostly showers today, and the area of low pressure is pretty much centered on top of you. Back to you.
In our Morning Buzz report, 5 people have been charged in connection with the death of actor Matthew Perry. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, the defendants include 2 doctors, Perry's live-in personal assistant, and a person authorities call, quote, the ketamine queen. They're all accused of distributing ketamine to the beloved Friends actor during the final weeks of his life. Authorities say investigators uncovered an underground network of drug sellers and suppliers they allege are responsible for distributing the drug that ultimately killed Perry. The next Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony is set to honor Carl Weathers, the actor and former football player known as Apollo Creed in the Rocky movie and for dozens of other films and TV shows. Died in February at 76. He'll be honored posthumously with a star in the sports entertainment category on August 29th.
Oh, I hate these.
Look at that car right there. I think I see the car from the Amber Alert. Get closer.
A rideshare turns into a wild ride in the first trailer for Amber Alert. Hayden Panettiere and Tyler James Williams literally race to save a child in the thriller. Amber Alert drives into select theaters and video on demand September 27th.
Everyone is dead. And soon, that number is going to include me.
In space, no one can hear you scream, but in a VR helmet, that's another story. Set in the Alien universe, Alien Rogue Incursion puts players front and center against the Xenomorphs. The game arrives December 19th for PlayStation, VR 2, PC VR, via Steam, and MetaQuest 3. All right, so you like Aliens, but do you like the video game version?
No.
No,
I'm not a video guy. I'm not a video game guy.
All right, wasn't sure about
not a
that,
gamer.
but you do like the movie.
Yeah, people don't listen to the smart woman and they all die.
There you go. You got to listen to the smart woman.
There you have it. I do.
Yes. Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right. Yeah, Beckett is turning 8 today. She's very outgoing. She loves to spend time with her family and her friends.
And Lily is also turning 8. She enjoys swimming, rollerblading, growing sunflowers, and holding her chicken, her fluffy chicken, named Chocolate Chip.
There you go. All right, how about Penelope? She's also turning 8. She loves to spend time with her friends and family. She likes to read, draw, and play soccer.
And Easton is turning 8. He loves playing any sport, hanging out with his great-grandma, and watching the Brewers games.
Oh, wow. How about that? How about Matt, though? Matt's our chief engineer. He's turning 48 today. He loves to ride his motorcycle, playing music, and goofing around with his son, Tucker. Thank you, Matt, for being an amazing coworker and being willing to come in early when we need you for technical issues.
Yeah, that happens. He was here yesterday. Hopefully he's sleeping in a little bit today. Happy birthday, Matt. And Rosemary's turning 88. She enjoys watching the Minnesota Twins, reading books, swimming, and spending time with her family.
Yeah, if you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, or 8 months, or 18, 8 years, or 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button underneath the Home tab. The time now is 6:48. Stay with us. We have everything you need to know in 5 minutes or less. Your Morning News Now is up next.
Did you know nobody beats King Furniture at bedding?
Nobody.
And did you know that King Furniture has one of the best selections of mattresses in the area?
Incredible!
And did you know King Furniture carries the best price points? Like this Jasmine Eurotop mattress for only $4.99.
Amazing!
So now you know. And you'll sleep like a baby knowing you paid the best price too. And while you're here, shop one of the best selections of Lazy Boy in our Lazy Boy Showcase. Find it all here at King Furniture.
If you're in a nursing home, you only have 5-6 month life expectancy. Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
Listen, Eric Hovde, Mr. Fancy California banker, I earned my retirement, but you said you would absolutely cut Social Security and even raise the retirement age. Now you want to take away our right to vote? Eric Hovde, you're one heck of a jerk. Will never have my vote. DSCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or get $3,500 purchase cash on select GMC Sierra models. Or get a total of $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Visit your Best Choice GMC dealer today.
Wood Sales and Service is your largest family-owned and operated outdoor power equipment dealer in the Coulee region. We feature a large selection of products and services. Find Steel, Cub Cadet, Toro, Altos, Yanmar, Coyote tractors and implements, Valley Forestry equipment, Central Wood boilers, Green Pellet grills, Rambo e-bikes, and much more. Plus our experienced service department for after the sale. That's Wood Sales and Service, Black River Falls. Family-owned and operated since 1968. WoodSalesService.com.
And it's been like
Doesn't
13
matter.
years.
Doesn't matter.
So
0 points.
here's what happened with the driver's test.
Off my driver's test.
Once and for all, here's
No.
what happened with the driver's test. I drove like you really drive in real life. And I got like 11 to 13 off my test. Still got it. And that guy probably was more confident in me than you because he knew, okay, if this is really how this dude's going to drive, he's going to be fine.
Okay,
Where
but
with you, it was a farce.
Okay.
I've been with you. You don't drive that way. Chelsea girl don't drive that way. You don't drive that way.
It's the Back to School sale at Hy-Vee this Friday through Sunday. Uncrustables, just $2.48. Lunchables or P3, just 99 cents. Basket and bushel mandarins, just $2.99 for a 3-pound bag. Hy-Vee split top bread, just $1.28. Kraft singles, just $1.99. Hy-Vee cereal, just 99 cents. Save big during the Back to School sale, in-store and online this Friday through Sunday at Hy-Vee.
Call Hupy and Abraham. They really do mean business.
Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris heads to North Carolina today to deliver her first major policy speech. The vice president is set to outline proposals to lower costs and announce moves aimed at expanding tax incentives for affordable housing. Yesterday, former President Trump slammed the Biden administration over inflation with a display of grocery items at a news conference. The price of some of the prescription drugs you rely on is about to get cheaper. Yesterday, Senator Tammy Baldwin met with her constituents to celebrate. Baldwin supported the Inflation Reduction Act, which empowered Medicare to negotiate lower prescription drug prices for the first time ever. And the Biden administration announced the price cuts for the first 10 drugs under those negotiations.
That's why I voted for the Inflation Reduction Act, to provide some real relief for Wisconsin families and hold big drug companies accountable for prioritizing profits over people.
Over 150,000 Wisconsinites are currently taking one or more of the 10 drugs that were part of those negotiations. Smashing stigma one dunk at a time. Tomorrow you can make a splash in the fight against mental health and addiction misconceptions. The Cooley Recovery Center hosting its Smash the Stigma Treatment Resource Fair from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. tomorrow in La Crosse. There you can connect with representatives from various mental health and substance use disorder treatment services, listen to some live music, and hear stories from people in long-term recovery. You can even take part in a Narcan training session. There's also a dunk tank, and the Batter and Brew food truck will be on hand. Some more events to tell you about. The Big River Rally rides into La Crosse today. Join any of the many ride-along rallies or check out the stunt shows and bike show tomorrow. There'll also be a veterans breakfast tomorrow morning. Jam out today and tomorrow at the Ultimate Hip Hop and Rock Music Festival, Reverb. Rock on with headliners like T.I. and Yellow Card. Tickets and camping passes are available online. And enjoy an array of events at Cornfest in Holmen this weekend. Check out the food trucks, car show, there's a parade, carnival, and of course, don't forget the corn. Admission to that is free.
Alexandra, excuse me. It's the end of summer, and that means people in the community are going back to school. We have everything from crayons to binders, all helping for a good cause. Stuff the Bus happening right here at the Walmart in Onalaska and at the Walmart in La Crosse, going from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Alexandra, back to you.
Thank you, Michael. All right. So what can we expect out there weather-wise today?
I gotta tell you, maybe some late morning showers and then maybe some late morning, storm activity coming in the early afternoon. And that's going to come into La Crosse and the areas around La Crosse. Eau Claire, mostly the rainfall for you. You're going to see that to finish out the day. In fact, you're going to also hold on to a little bit of rainfall for Saturday. It looks fairly nice though for Sunday, 84 degrees, 82 degrees on Monday, and those conditions will continue to be in those low 80s to finish out the remainder of the next few days, my friends. Get out and enjoy it if you can. Have a wonderful weekend.
All right, well, go ho-ho and a bottle of rum. Today is National Rum Day. Celebrate the tropical flavor rum brings. Your favorite cocktail with a Mai Tai or pina colada. There's no shortage of other beverages centered around rum, where it is a core ingredient. And whether you like your rum light, dark, or spiced, it all comes from sugarcane. That's actually how it came to be associated with pirates. Since sugarcane was grown in the West Indies as far back as the 1600s, it was common in the Caribbean region. Rum was also considered a commodity and was given to sailors as a ration on ships. All right, well, I'm happy this day is on a Friday. I don't like when these holidays are on weekdays. I think they should be on weekends. And also, Andrew, where are our pina coladas, right?
I'm hanging out with a French pirate right here, my favorite, with rum.
Yeah, I'm gonna come steal your rum to make a pina colada, I think. Well, thank you for starting your morning with us on News 8 Now this morning. We will see you back here at noon. Until then, enjoy your Friday.